Some carbon fiber pieces in my Lexus RCF are severely delaminating. As a result, we're going to try to fix this ourselves rather than spend a few $100 each on brand new parts. In order to disassemble this carbon fiber part from the door, I use a card. Try to slip that card between the carbon fiber part and the door. This is protecting damage to both pieces. And now I'm going to use a panel remover in order to try to pry up and pop out that part. There we go. We've popped out the carbon fiber part, and after removing some electrical wires, we are fully free. Let's continue with some additional disassembly of the buttons from the carbon fiber piece. It looks like we can just undo some clips here and here. Let's try this out. Oh, okay, so that worked. From here we want to remove this is either epoxy or clear coat. So just pry that off. We're going to remove it from this entire piece since it's a smaller piece anyway. At some point we'll switch to a razor blade and keep moving. The protective coating is fully removed from the carbon fiber piece. Judging from the thickness of that protective coating, I think it's an epoxy rather than just a clear coat. Regardless, we're going to cover this with a clear spray coat rather than epoxy. It'll be a bit easier. Next step is to use some sandpaper, and we're going to wet sand this to get out some of the scratches and prepare it for clear coat. I'll first start with a P400 grit and then follow up with a P600 grit, all wet sanding. Spray with some water. Keep it wet the entire time during sanding, and then go at it. You're going to see some haziness develop on the carbon fiber part. That's fine. That'll later disappear in later sanding or the clear coat application. With wet sanding complete with P400, we're going to continue with the P600 grit wet sanding. I'll mention here that the purpose of a clear coat or epoxy coat on top of this carbon fiber is to protect the carbon fiber from damage, especially UV damage, so the carbon fiber itself doesn't break down. Otherwise, it looks pretty good as is. Also, the clear coat will add some additional gloss to this carbon fiber part. With wet sanding complete, we'll clean down our part really well with a clean rag and isopropyl alcohol. The alcohol will both clean this part and then dry off rather quickly. Keep your fingers off of this carbon fiber surface as it dries so as not to leave any grease or grime behind. The carbon fiber part is fully prepared for clear coat. You can buy the cheaper clear coats, but this is one purchased on Amazon. This is a 2K clear coat. You want to be really careful with 2K clear coat and not inhale it. As a result, you want to get the proper respirator and eye protection, even hand protection. This stuff is nothing to play with. The part is sanded and cleaned up. This part is not wet sanded to very fine grit. You don't want to go to 2000 or even 1000 because you want enough scratches in here that the clear coat can adhere and grab onto really well this carbon fiber part and last, not flake off. So all we did was go up to the P600. Let's prepare, put on our protection, and spray the clear. Our clear coat is all shaken up. Be sure to read the directions of whatever clear coat you choose. I'm going to spray off to the side a little bit to clear out the nozzle, and I'm going to turn on a fan before I start spraying this part. I'm in a well ventilated area so as not to inhale this and have my protective gear on. We're going to do 2 or 3 quick even passes of clear coat on this part and let it dry, maybe applying up to 3 coats eventually of clear.
I
After drying 5 to 10 minutes, let's apply our second coat. And we'll rotate this around for the third and final coat just to get it at a bit of a different angle. Clear coat has dried 24 hours now. Between 24 and 48 hours, you want to do any additional wet sanding or polishing before the finish is completely hardened. So I'm going to continue with a cut compound followed by a polish. If you're wanting to ensure that you have the best possible finish, maybe you want to wet sand before all of that with a 1200, maybe even 2000 grit sandpaper. So to begin the cut compound, I'm just going to spray this. I'm going to apply some of the compounds. And then rub this on with a clean rag. You could use a machine, a DA, to apply this, but we're just going to do it by hand since it's a small part. The goal here is to remove any fine scratches or imperfections in the carbon fiber finish on the clear coat. With a clean rag, let's clean this part up now and prepare it for the final step, the polishing. Let's apply some polishing compound now to the part. And the goal here is to remove any last scratches, final imperfections that the cut compound was unable to remove. This will give us the real glossy finish that we're looking for. Wiping with a clean rag, we are now revealing our final product, and we got some glossiness there. This maybe would have turned out even better had I wet sanded before all the polishing, but this looks great. We'll now reassemble our buttons to the carbon fiber piece with simply some snaps. I ended up applying new clear coat to both the passenger side and the driver's side assembly. After some polishing, these look quite beautiful, all glossy. To reassemble, just connect your electrical again and pop back into place. Side by side, the factory carbon fiber with the repaired carbon fiber looks almost indistinguishable. They also feel very similar. I could have purchased these parts for the passenger side and driver's side from the factory even for $100 to $200, but this fix looks great and required maybe max an hour of effort and $20 of clear coat. I even had the clear coat lying around already. So I'm happy with this fix. I hope this helps you with your project.